welcome everybody. We're broadcasting on Zoom. So like Anna, and if you are watching us on Facebook Live, we can't see you. There's a delay. Bogdan's trying to follow on the phone, but we don't see you at the same time. So we're not ignoring you. But if you leave comments, we'll get to them as soon as we can, but there may be delays. And secondly, everything that we're talking about today is for sale. This is about us and talking about our art and what we're doing and how we're achieving our art practices, but everything is for sale. So if you're interested in fall in love with a piece, that's the time to buy it. Let us know. We can ship anywhere in the world.
But even if you don't want to buy something and you like something, do comment on anything you like.
Exactly.
Your feedback is very valuable to us.
Absolutely. And if you don't like anything, just keep it to yourself. No, I'm kidding.
Anyway, John, let me switch to the presentation.
Marvelous.
The first piece is we want to talk about in this edition of Live Art Chat. It's the Poodle in the Garden, one of mine. It's a photography, and yours, of course, it's a painting called Celestials. Mm-hmm. Now, John, I found this very happy, and I said I'm going to share it today in Poodle in the Garden. And you know, this is from the series called Nature Remembered, which I worked about a little over a year ago. I completed it. Actually, it's never completed if you ask me, because there's always going to be things to photograph around this series. So the idea of this series is how do you call this? A
doily?
A doily. You know, guys, we all probably, I don't know, me for sure, I grew up with these doilies and these weird ceramic figurines around my home. And I remember my parents' friends had these gigantic horses, and it's like we all hated them. But we found them very kitschy. And I was like, one day I'm going to escape of this house and I'm going to have my own just clean house without those things. But you know what? At the base of these, they kind of form us. We learn how a lion is like, what's the proportion of a horse. Well, horses are everywhere, but those exotic animals, even if they were kitschy in a way, we grew up with them, and we learn, you know, just by watching them. Did you have any figurines like this, John?
We did. We had figurines, and the whole idea of the doily I thought was incredibly important, because that's the way we marked something as important. If it was important and valuable, it had its own doily, and that was kind of the way to enshrine it somehow and protect it. I think it also protected the furniture underneath.
You are absolutely right, because for a long time, our TV was very important. And guess what? It had a doily.
Absolutely.
And not only on the base, but on the top as well.
Mm-hmm. And the whole idea, I think, around this series that I find so interesting is the idea that we've got this value for nature. We've got this value because of the environmental degradation and climate change and all the horrible things that are happening. That in this arena, how do you mark something like nature as being important? Well, you put it on a doily. So you create these amazing doilies, kind of symbolic doilies around these horribly grotesque little figurines.
And
I think it's very powerful.
So the idea of there's in those photographs, there are those ceramic figurines, animals of all sorts, and they are placed in some sort of a flowery, leaves, geometrical shape.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the base of it, the doily, it's actually mimic a flowering, some sort of bouquet, or a natural theme of leaves, right? And if you guys want to head on to my website, which is bogdanphotoart.com, and the Nature Remember portfolio, you're going to see a lot of these absolutely pleasant photographs with things we grew up with, right?
Bogdan, if you put those on the larger screen, those were very small.
Yes, let me switch. Thanks for reminding me.
Not that we don't like the poodle. Hi, Bob.
See. Bob is here. So this is the photograph I'm talking about and I'm presenting today. And these are, it's a lot of work, guys, because each flower is individual and has to be placed one by one in a circle, or you will see I'm gonna go around and around with some other things. Some are more complicated, some are more simple, like this swan here. I do remember we had, actually I had to flew to Romania to photograph all these figurines. I called my mom.
That's the only reason you went.
You know, because I'm connected with these things, and I remember my mother had a friend who has all these around the house, and I actually called her and I said, listen, do you think such and such has those figurines still around the house? And she said, oh yes, absolutely. So we make a special trip, so I photographed each one of them. And this is a red cardinal.
Amazing series.
Yes, and of course, those are just proof prints. I envision this on a larger scale, at least 24 by 24, just to connect with the image.
Mm-hmm.
And this particular one, the doily here, it's done with salt crystals so that I can mimic the eyes.
Mm-hmm. Go back to the poodle.
Poodle. Back to the poodle.
And I say that because there is a hidden story here as well.
Oh my God, it is.
That poodle is one of mine. In the 1990s, I went away on vacation and I got a permanent. And I had curly hair. I looked like Little Orphan Annie. And everyone started giving me poodles. And so I had to get rid of the haircut.
Well, I'm glad I didn't
Poodles
meet
remain.
you. I'm glad I didn't meet you at that point in life. I have to say that.
Yeah, it was awful.
I was like, oh, I'm not gonna meet this guy again. But anyway, so this is the first artwork, Poodle in the Garden, and you got a brief of the Nature Remember series as well. And I think it's your turn, John, to talk about your Celestial.
Celestials. This is a painting I did back in 2019 before the pandemic. And you're going to pull it up?
Yes, just
or do you want me to hold it up?
let me place it in on a big screen so we can see it.
So this is a painting that I did. The whole idea of celestials is that I had the moon and a star, kind of reminiscent of the kind of Islamic symbol. I think it was when we were in the Emirates, when we looked up at the sky and actually saw that moon with the star see on the flags and things like that. And so I tried to make a very surreal kind of abstract version of the moon and the star. This is highly textured, and I just find it a lovely picture.
It's actually very lovely, and the size is nice too.
Yeah, I have it here if you want to.
Yes.
Make it larger.
Woohoo! Yeah, it's beautiful.
But if you can see the texture in it, I don't know if that comes through.
I think the slideshow took care of that.
Yeah, some of the details. There's a lot going on there. It's I think it's a lovely picture. I love the way that it is kind of surrealistic in the sense that I've got the two ends of the moon, but they're both showing up, and the star is red where it probably should be white. Someone said it looked like a bug hit the windshield, but oh well. That was not my intent. Anyway, I think it's a lovely picture, and it's here in the studio.
So let me ask you, now that you finished presenting this piece, are you, I heard that you're thinking to apply for the Fine Feria in Mexico City as well.
I have applied for the Fine series, this Mexico City show, but that's the submission that I put in was the one for Monterrey and for Guadalajara. I was not chosen for either of those shows. So I'm going to change the last minute. I'm going to just change my pictures, hoping that maybe that will get me in. Because it'd be nice if particularly if we both got in. That would be exciting to be able to take both pieces. Both.
We'll see. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. That was a Guadalajara. The Guadalajara edition was a lovely, very, very pleasant experience.
And we have now just heard, in fact, about your Guadalajara. I don't know if this is spilling the beans, but we've got a show in Mexico City. If you don't get to Michael Swank at the Proyectos de Residencia, the P, I always get it mixed up.
Yeah, doesn't matter. We'll find it. We'll share this at the next edition.
Right. So his gallery there, he's going to show Bogdan's work, and has actually asked Bogdan to help him out as a judge for photographic shows in the future. So we really like working with Michael and appreciate his support.
And I actually had, remember I told everybody that with this photo festival in Argentina, I not only been a guest artist, but they asked me if I want to review some photographers' work. And I finally have the first one scheduled. Hey,
that'll be exciting.
Moving forward, let's see where we are. Poughkeepsie. This photograph is from the Inheritance series, guys, have been selected again for another show in New York, in Poughkeepsie, New York. When is this? In November 5th, December 9th. I just mailed the picture yesterday, and hopefully is going to make it in time. It also
plenty of time.
Yeah. And I also I have it on display in my studio here at 111 in Silver Street Studios in Houston.
This one's been getting lots of love, hasn't it?
Yeah, everything actually. I'm afraid now to submit because once you, how does this work? You sign a contract, so you cannot sell it to another place. It's getting very complicated at some point.
Right.
But I'm pleased that they've been selected. Now the VA 37th Open Exhibition is still on, and you can check their website, guys, to see the work of all selected artists for this show. And so these are our pieces. So
you're in Fane picked as is.
Yeah, VAA.
Poughkeepsie and VAA have all picked the same picture. So congratulations. That was.
Thank you.
Doing well.
And again, on VAA, your Johnny has been sold as well. Mm-hmm. Now, we have a new vlog going on. We are sharing all kinds of things that happened with us lately. So if you guys want to get a glimpse of our art life, please head to YouTube and browse for Art Life with John and Bogdan to see what we are up to.
Magnificent. And we're having a ball doing those, I think.
Yeah. And again, it keeps you accountable, you know? Every day I have to think, what have I done today or what I'm about to do today, so I won't lose an opportunity to film any of the art engagements I have around.
And not only does it keep you up on your art practice and making sure that you're being held accountable for your artistic, work, but it also makes you remember which shirt you wore what day, so
Oh,
you don't keep repeating the same wardrobe. A hidden benefit.
yes. Then I want to thank you, Lauren.
Yay, Lauren.
Lauren is a relative of John,
My niece.
a niece, and she recently found this picture, Specialis called, and it's actually her grandmother worked out in a pop art style. It's a series that I put together some time ago, but I got to share some of this picture again lately, and she spotted it and she said, I must have this one. I really must have. So I
don't guess Lauren ever got to meet her. My grandmother would have loved this picture. She was
there are quite a few of them. She was quite a happy lady. Huh?
Mm-hmm. She would have had a ball with this.
Now, Festival de Fotografia Artistica, I had an interview last week. This is actually a picture from a year ago, because I wasn't able to grab a picture of to make a screenshot. I got so involved in the whole process that I completely forgot to take a picture of it.
Well, and they'll submit something, but they just haven't done it yet.
Oh, they will. And I think it went well, and I had a lot of people attending the meeting. What, 30 people maybe?
Yeah, I would think that. Yeah.
Lots of questions, and I want to
live. Yeah.
I want to thank you for being there with me and translating and interpreting for everybody the stories.
It was really fun.
It was really fun, and a lot of interested folks.
And you're quite a hit in Argentina.
Oh, who knew? We have to look for an apartment.
I tell you, I'm ready.
What else? We have some commission work. We can do some other commission work. If you guys think about Christmas presents, this is the time to get involved and reach to us. You already have one.
Great idea. I think it's a great idea. When Keith approached me and said he wanted to do some commission, I thought, what a wonderful gift to me as an artist to get some business, but also to the people he's giving gifts to, because they'll be unique, pieces of art. So I think it's a win-win, and I'm totally honored.
Very, very supportive. And again, we want to thank all of you who are collecting us, who are watching us, who are, supporting us in many, many ways.
Magnificent.
Now, new. There's not a lot new this week, but at the end of last week, I managed to finally put up on my website the Unwritten series. And here on screen are just a few of selection. There's a black and white photography, and it's made purely out of gray paper and a gray background.
Is it black and white, or is it just all gray?
I would say gray, but
No, but what I'm saying is, did you actually turn off the color, or was there just no color to begin with?
No, there's no color really.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
I love this series. I think
the shapes, the paper and the shapes of the paper is made out of the exact same texture and paper of the background. So I just cut pieces and strips, and I play with them to create this organic, messy, but yet geometrical artworks.
And the repetition and just the shadows, the light, and the texture. I just think it's great photography. Congratulations.
Let's see. Home studio improvements. We are moving slowly, but we are moving somewhere.
We are moving.
So this would be kind of the sitting area here.
I think those floors ended up looking great. We just
I love them. I love them. And then that would be kind of the middle of the room for bigger projects. And that desk that you see in the on the background is quite large and a large top, which is going to allow me to, cut mats and or various other things.
Stretch canvases, whatever we need. Yeah.
It's 11:20, and I think we should move to the next two pieces. And it's the first one. It's immobile, and it's a photography piece. And yours, it's an acrylic on canvas, right?
Borderlands.
So this one, Immobile, is from the In Motion series, a series that I totally like. It's I like to call it, painting with the camera. Basically, I leave the camera on long exposure, and then I move it as I take the pictures, and I'll stop when I'm happy, basically. And it's very little Photoshop. I did add an extra layer. How do you call it? It's a double exposure, right? One is vertical, one is horizontal, so that it creates those texturized surface, and almost looks like a painting, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And this I haven't printed yet, but the idea of it's to be at least 24 by 30 inch, so that you can connect with the actual image. And let me share you some details of these ones. They're really, really lovely, and the colors are not bright as others. It's very muted in this case, which makes it very, it can fit in a very modern space, in an office.
Sure. And these buildings being from Houston, I mean, I suppose they could be from anywhere.
It can be. It happens that the whole In Motion series is done in downtown Houston.
Right.
I have a passion for architectures, abstract architecture, falling architecture, and being in Romania for a long time, I would always dream these skyscrapers and to be around skyscrapers, and I have them all here.
Yes. And I think people love to collect where they live. I mean, we see people buying skylines of Houston, things like this. This is a way to have Houston, but in less of a touristic kind of.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, I have to say, coming into the studio and asking for pictures of Houston, and they are looking as a regular sort of skyline of Houston, but I want it to be a little softer and smoother. I want to.
Literal. Yeah.
Right, a little muted.
And I think they're lovely images. I love the colors. I love the movement, that feeling of movement in them, that kind of urban kind of noise and movement that they depict. One of a gentleman came in, I remember, and you can pretty much make out the building, but you're not necessarily completely sure. And the guy says, I think that's my building. And I think that's my office. And I said, sir, if you're paying, that's your office.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Moving forward.
Borderlands. I almost exclusively try and do abstract images. And I did this back in 2019 as well, playing with the idea of doing landscapes. I love landscapes. I prefer to work in more abstraction. But I lived in New Mexico, in a small town called Jal, New Mexico, in the desert. And that southwestern landscape, those images, those colors really, really appeal to me. And so I tried this landscape. I absolutely love it. It's one of those that, when you see it further away, it becomes a different picture. It becomes much crisper and things like that. But I really loved the kind of subtle colors, the movement, the shades that seem to change when the light changes and the sun moves across the sky. So it's a desolate landscape, but it's also a beautiful and active landscape.
I see it very fluid all the time. Yeah. It's so pleasant.
Yeah, it almost looks like waves, doesn't it, on the water? I thought what I particularly liked about it was that it seems to have some sort of internal light. And that's something that I'm really, really experimenting with. I'm starting up the art project with the Programa de Residencia in Mexico City with Michael Swank again. And this time for the next 8 weeks, I'm going to be really looking at how I can bring light internally to a painting, not reflected light, but internal light, and see if I can really explore that and develop that to increase my artistic talent.
That's great.
So Borderlands is here behind me. It's 36 by 36 and would look great over your fireplace.
You want to go a little closer just to
Sure.
let people understand the exact scale? Yeah. Yeah, it's quite large and quite nice. It's a very nice statement, yes. And it's in the studio, right? Here in Silver Street?
It's in the studio, yes. And I'm going to
Fantastic.
leave it here for a while.
Well, I am in the next period of time, I'm going to concentrate to create some more, in a way, colorful images, because I noticed that people lately, they ask for more bright and colorful colors, and I said I'm going to try a new series, or what I experience is a lot of constructions going on, a lot of new apartments, and
Yes.
young people are not necessarily looking to make big investments in important series and collections, but they would like some colorful, small, medium to small artworks that can bring a little happiness in their home. So this is where I am now.
We're about to hit fourth quarter, and so starting next month, we've got, the biggest sales event for most artists in a year is around the holidays. So that last quarter is a great time to really get out there and sell some art. So fingers crossed.
And just saying, put us on the list.
Yes, absolutely.
There's a lot to choose from. Guys, we have a lot of artwork piling up here. And it'll be nice to take it home.
And I promise never to get another permanent.
Yeah. Works with me. Agreed.
Sounds great.
Anyway, it's almost 11:30, and I think we are toward the end, right? Anything you want?
Absolutely.
Anything you want to add?
No, just have a wonderful week. We thank you guys. We appreciate you. And
Thank
we
you,
will
Bob. Thank you, Bob, for here. Bob and Rosa. I don't know which one of them.
Anna and whoever else may be out there. I can't see Facebook Live, but have a wonderful week, and we will see you again next time.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.